it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is for the April polish pickup. Yes. So the theme for April is going to be the 90s. So everything is 90s themed. If you were in the 90s, you are going to be very excited about all of the things available this month for polish pickup. So if you are new and you have never heard of Polish Pickup is a massive indie collaboration between well over 100 brands that takes place every month on the first Friday of the month. I will have all of the information down below because it is a lot. And don't forget to check out my blog post on NicoleLovesNails.com for all of my swatch photos. And let's just get into the video. The first polish I have to share is by Alter Ego, and this is called 7 Cherries Rose Up Smiley Face. This is described as a sheer cherry red base. It will be $10 for a 17 ml bottle and has no cap. This had a great jelly-like formula. I didn't have any issues with the application. It is on the sheer side, so you will definitely want to build this one up. I found that the shade of red for this polish is that artificial cherry red. It didn't feel like a summer red or a winter red. It just felt like an artificial cherry red. So this should be good all year round for those of you who are seasonal polish wearers. So in the description, it doesn't mention anything about having an added shimmer or anything like that. But I found that it had a shimmer or pearl-like effect on the nail that gave it a very glowy-like appearance. This was a really beautiful red. I did go in for a slightly thicker final coat just to give this a little bit more opacity, especially on the clear part of my nail. So there will be some visible nail line with this polish. I don't think it's too drastic. But if you have a visible nail line blurring base coat, I think this would be a good candidate for that if you kind of hate visible nail line. I am usually pretty prone to staining with red polishes, but I did not have any staining with this one. Alter Ego will also be bringing some foaming bath crumbs to the polish pickup. This one will be $7 for 2 ounces, and it has no cap. The fragrance on this one is described as a soda fragrance. So I'm going to preface this. You guys know I tend to smell really random things in scented products, so my nose is just terrible for these kinds of things. So for this one, I was definitely smelling the soda, but I was also smelling something extra, and I couldn't put my finger on what it was that I was smelling. I swear I was smelling something fruity, and Cynthia told me she did not add any fruit scents to this bath crumb. So here in the video, I am showing it as a mani balm. You can use this as a mani balm, a pedi balm, or a bath balm. It works the exact same way. I was a little hesitant sticking my hand in here because I was very concerned that this was going to stain my skin. So you can kind of see I was just kind of like splashing around in here. I did not have any staining on my skin with this. I was very concerned about that. I didn't have any staining whatsoever. And the fragrance on this was really nice. Not too strong. It didn't seem overpowering, and it didn't last too long after I rinsed my fingers off either. It does feel very moisturizing, like I felt the oils, not in a bad way, on my skin once I rinsed my fingers off. I still needed to use like my usual lotions and oils when I was done, but it did definitely not feel like I had my hands sitting in water. It felt like I had my hands sitting in like water and oil, which was really interesting. A little goes a very long way with this product, so I sprinkled this into a small glass bowl. I think if you use this for mani or pedi balms, you probably can get at least 3 uses out of it. I can never decide what to do for photos for products like these, so I was kind of experimenting with everything for this one. Next up, we have Bee's Knees Lacquer with Don't Go to Sleep. This one is inspired by the Goosebumps novel by the same name, and it is described as a deep indigo polish with an antique gold shimmer that shifts to vibrant green and blue. This will be $13 for 15 mls and has no cap. Don't Go to Sleep had a wonderful formula. It didn't feel thick or thin. This is an extremely color shifty polish. So here in the live swatch, you're mostly seeing that deep indigo color with the gold shimmer and like a hint of green on the sides of my nails. Once I got this one moving around, I was seeing like a rainbow of colors on the nail. Like I was just blown away by the color shiftiness on this polish. It was really, really cool. So my live swatch here is showing it in 2 coats. I found when I was done doing the live swatch, I decided to add a 3rd coat just to add more opacity on my tips. So I think this will be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your nail length. I will have a comparison of this polish in my polish pickup for April comparisons video, which I will have linked in the description box as well as at the end of this video. Next up, we have Cameo Colors Lacquer with Double Denim Days. This one is inspired by denim on denim fashion of the 90s. It's described as a light to medium denim blue crelly with a blue to / indigo shimmer full of scattered hollow sparkle and silver hollow micro flakes. This will be $11.50 for a 15 ml bottle and has a cap of 105 bottles. This also had a wonderful formula. It didn't feel thick or thin. The hollow sparkle in this is extremely impressive. When you get this one out into the sunlight, you will be blinded. In a good way, blinded in a good way. I found that the blue that you will see on your nail with this polish is going to be highly dependent on lighting. I found that it ranged from like a light to a medium blue in person. The blue / indigo shimmer in this blends in really nicely to the base, so you only get that shimmer sparkle in certain angles on the nail. Like it's a nice hint of sparkle. I would say predominantly this is a scattered holographic denim blue polish. This had amazing coverage in 2 coats. I think shorter nails could definitely just be fine in 2 coats. The 3rd coat does not deepen the color any, just adds more opacity. And nothing in here dries down textured. Removal will be possibly a little tricky if you decide to scrub it off. Next up is Color Spectrum Polish with Pretty Princess. This one is inspired by the Pretty Princess board game that all of us 90 kids played. This one is described as a pretty sheer teal base loaded with a purple to blue shifting UCC flakies, gold to teal to orange shifting UCC flakies, silver to blue iridescent flakies, rose hollow glitters, green to gold shifting aurora shimmer, and teal hollow. This one is priced at $12.50 for a 13 ml bottle and has a cap of 115 bottles. Also, I will note that $2 from each bottle of this polish sold will be donated to the Pulmonary Fibrosis Foundation. This had a fantastic formula, not too thick or too thin. It is on the sheer side, so it will need to be built up. The flakies and the glitters all spread out evenly and easily on their own. This one has so much going on in it, and it doesn't look like overload on the nail, in my opinion. I love the inspiration behind this polish. I love that game so much. Like, it's not even funny how much I love that game. Anyway, this builds up really nicely in 3 coats. I found the 3rd coat does deepen the color to what you see in the bottle. This is sheer enough that it could be used as a topper over a variety of base colors. I was actually really surprised at just how smooth this polish dries down. I did add top coat to my swatches, but this does dry down really smooth for a polish that has so much glitter and flakies in it. So therefore it will be a little difficult to remove if you try to scrub this one off, so I recommend either soaking it off or using a peel off base coat. And next up we have Fancy Gloss with Let's Be Friends. This one is inspired by Furby and is described as a light blue base packed with blue to green to teal to copper to gold to red to pink to purple clear flakes. This will be $12.50 for 15 ml, and it has a cap of 400 bottles. This had a great formula, slightly on the thicker side of normal, but not so thick that it was difficult to work with. I'm so used to Fancy Gloss doing thermals that I spent way too long trying to get this polish to shift colors, and I kind of freaked out because I thought it was broken. And then I realized that the label didn't actually say anything about being a thermal. So this is a very bright blue polish. This is skirting the lines of being a neon in my opinion. I found that it did glow under black light, which leads me to think that this has some type of neon pigment in it. And the flakies in this, in case you couldn't tell, it's a rainbow of colors. It's really, really beautiful. So I think this one will be perfectly opaque for pretty much everyone in 2 to 3 coats, depending on your nail length and polishing style. This is jam-packed with flaky, so I think if you do have visible nail line, you will have to search for it because I wasn't seeing it and my nails are clear. Removal will be a little bit tricky if you try to scrub this one off. I always say this, soak it off. It's so much easier. Next up, we have Heather Hues with The Midnight Society. This one is inspired by the amazing TV show Are You Afraid of the Dark? This was one of my favorite shows as a kid. This one is described as a black to purple thermal filled with a fiery red to pink to orange gold shimmer and flakies, as well as a touch of hollow micro flakes and micro shreds. This one will be $12.50 for 15 mLs and has no cap. This had a wonderful formula. It didn't feel thick or thin, and I had 0 application issues. So this is described as a black to purple thermal. I found in person that the cold state was really more of a dark, vampy, almost eggplant-like color. So in lower lighting situations, I think it will look black, but I found under bright lighting, it looked more like a deep eggplant-like purple. And the warm state is like a medium toned purple. Had pretty good coverage in 2 coats. I ended up going in for 3 coats. I had a little bit of patchiness in 2 coats. I think shorter nails might be able to get away with 2 coats, possibly. This does dry down slightly textured and a little dull, so you will definitely want top coat. The hollow sparkle looks really beautiful in person. I will note that I did not swatch this one with base coat and I had a little bit of light staining, so make sure to wear a base coat with this polish. I'd also recommend soaking this polish off. And next up we have KBShimmer with I Just Wanna Fly. This one is inspired by the iridescent butterfly hair clips that we all wore in our hair. This is described as a pastel cool tone purple with iridescent shimmer that shifts to a rainbow of hues. Will be $11 for a 15 ml bottle and has no cap. I Just Wanna Fly had a wonderful formula. It didn't feel thick or thin and it applied really nicely. I was just as obsessed with this polish as I was with those butterfly hair clips. I'm so glad there are no pictures floating around of me with those hair clips because I used a lot of them. So the pastel tones in this base paired with the shimmer are absolutely stunning, just absolutely gorgeous. The colors I was seeing most in person were gold, greens, cyan, and like an aqua type color. The shimmer is not at all brush strokey. I found this had great coverage in 2 coats, but the 3rd coat does deepen the color to what you see in the bottle, and it also makes the shimmer seem a little bit stronger. KBShimmer will also be bringing their amazing sugar scrub to the polish pickup. This one is a fresh peach fragrance. So full disclosure, when I saw that this one was going to be peach scented, I thought for sure it was going to smell like gummy peach rings, which are my favorite candy in the whole world. So unfortunately, it does not smell like gummy peach rings, but on the positive side, it smells exactly like fresh peaches. Like, it's uncanny how fresh smelling this one is. This one is going to be $10 for 9.5 ounces and has no cap, I forgot to mention. And this one is inspired by the coolest place to be in the 90210, which is the Peach Pit. I've reviewed this sugar scrub many times, so I don't want to give a demo of it because I've done that before. But this scrub, this is one of my go-to scrubs for manicures, for pedicures, all over body. I love this scrub. Like, I think I currently have like 4 jars sitting in my refrigerator waiting to be used because I love this one so much I always buy it. Next up, we have Leesha's Lacquer with Slime Time. This one is inspired by Nickelodeon and all the sliming they did to pretty much everyone in the 90s. This one is described as a neon green jelly with neon green and neon orange glitters and an orange shimmer. This does glow under black light. This will be $11 for 15 mLs, and it has no cap. I tried tweaking my lighting a little bit so you all can see just how neon this polish is. This is a very bright neon green. It is the perfect slime green for Nickelodeon 90s slime. So this had a fantastic formula, not too thick or too thin. I found that the glitters all spread out evenly on their own. You can do a little bit of dabbing around to get glitters in places where you want them. I did that right here, but it's totally not necessary. I did find that sometimes the glitters wanted to hang out more at my tips, but I think that's more of an issue for longer nails than it would be. This is passable in 2 coats. I actually wore this in 2 coats on my dominant hand for a few days, and it's definitely passable. I found the 3rd coat does deepen the color significantly to what you see in the bottle, so whether or not you do 2 coats versus 3 will be personal preference. I found in 3 coats it was a little bit textured, and when I wore this on my dominant hand, I did 1 coat of top coat. For my swatch photos, I used 2 coats of top coat, and I found that 2 coats definitely smoothed this out 100%. 1 coat smoothed it out like 80, maybe 90%. I personally like this one in 3 coats. I think it looks absolutely stunning that way. And this looks so cool under black light. So this is a black light reactive polish. This is not a glow in the dark polish. This is black light reactive. I will say that the glitters will make this a little difficult to remove. Definitely soak this one off or wear a peel off base coat. The circle glitters really seem to want to stick to the nail during removal. Next up, we have another Leesha's lacquer. This one is called Butterflies in My Hair. This one is also inspired by the butterfly hair clips. This one is described as a full-on hollow glitter topper with a blend of different colored glitters. This one is priced at $12 for 15 mLs and has a cap of 150 bottles. This is a very dense holographic glitter topper. I am doing 1 coat over black. I'm using my go-to black, which is Heather Hues' Shadow. So this one, I think this one is dense enough that I could have built this one up on its own, but I wanted to see what this one looked like over black, so that's what I did. This is extremely holographic. I feel like my my videos and my photos don't quite give this one justice on how holographic it is. Like it was so hollow. I think my camera was just like, what's going on? So here it is out of focus so you can see just how holographic it is. This topper has a ton of glitter in it, so it will dry down slightly textured. 1 coat of top coat seems to smooth it out really nicely. I mentioned this on Instagram, but this polish with a matte top coat reminds me so much of black acid wash jeans. Next up, we have Swamp Gloss with Whoa! This one is inspired by Keanu Reeves. That was my best Keanu Reeves impression, by the way. I'm so sorry, it was terrible. This one is described as a thermal that moves from a soft green to a white with aquamarine and hot pink matte hex glitters and iridescent flakies that shift from red to gold. This one will be priced at $13 for 15 ml and has a cap of 300 bottles. This had a wonderful formula. I was genuinely surprised at how thin the base felt despite having so much glitter and flakies in it. Not thin as in watery, just like I expected it to be like thick, and it was not thick at all. This is on the sheer side, so you will definitely want to build this one up. To get the glitters to spread out even easily, you don't have to do anything special like holding it upside down, no glitter placement. This is just a wonderful, wonderful polish. If you go in for thicker coats and you have shorter nails, you could probably get away with 2 coats. I wore this one on my dominant hand for a few days, and I wore it in 2 coats. It was a little bit sheer, but it was a good sheer. So you can definitely get away with 2 coats if you really want. I found that this does dry down texture, so you will definitely want top coat with it. Whether you use 1 coat or 2 will be dependent on your personal preference. For my swatch photos, I used 2 coats. On my dominant hand, I only used 1, and it was just fine. Removal will be tricky, so I definitely recommend soaking that one off. And the final polish I have to share with you all is by Twisting Nether Lacquer. This one is called Fungus Among Us, and it is inspired by the Incubus album by the same name. This is described as an olive green polish with unicorn shimmers, UCC flakies, 2 different types of crystal chameleon flakes, ruby red metallic microflakes, and hollow sparkle. This will be $13 for 15 ml and has a cap of 150 bottles. This had a wonderful jelly-like formula. It felt just slightly on the thicker side of normal, but I think that might have been due to my bottle being cold the day I was swatching this one. I feel like this polish is going to be very polarizing. Either you're going to love this color or you're going to flat out hate it. It is definitely an ugly, pretty polish. This is going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on personal preference and polishing style. I found in 2 coats it was just a tiny bit sheer, and that the 3rd coat did deepen the color to what I was seeing in the bottle. Coverage wise, I think it is passable in 2 coats if that's what you want to do. Nothing in here is going to be too difficult to remove. I still wouldn't recommend scrubbing, but you do you. And that's everything. So of course that's not everything that will be available for polish pickup. That's just a few of the things. So I had a really hard time deciding which were my personal favorites this month. I kind of ran into the issue where I really like something because I like the inspiration, and then I really like something because of just the polish itself. So each month I try to narrow my favorites down to 3, maybe 4 polishes. I couldn't do that this month. So this month I'm just going to do my top 5. I thought all of these polishes were fantastic though, so my first favorite would be the Swamp Gloss polish called Whoa. So this is one of the polishes that I really like the polish because of the actual polish itself as well as the inspiration, which was Keanu Reeves. I thought the glitters and the flakies paired with the base color was just really, really beautiful. Another top pick that is both for the polish itself as well as the inspiration would be the Leesha's Lacquer. I actually really liked both of her polish and her IPU polish. I like them both, but I will say this one for the neon green called Slime Time. I really liked the base color paired with the glitters. I thought this was the perfect Nickelodeon slime green, and I just really, really enjoyed this one, especially with the topper. I thought it looked fantastic with the topper. Next favorite, this one is a favorite based on the inspiration. I really like the polish itself as well, but the inspiration really just got me very excited. So this is the Heather's Hues polish, the Midnight Society. The inspiration for this one was the TV show Are You Afraid of the Dark, which was one of my favorite shows as a kid. I watched it so much. The inspiration is what put this one in the favorites for me. It is a very beautiful polish though. Next favorite, which based on comments and questions I've gotten from people, is going to be a lot of people's favorite. This is the Bee's Knees Lacquer called Don't Go to Sleep. I really loved the base color paired with the shimmer. I thought it was absolutely mind-blowing just how many colors the shimmer changes to. Like, I don't have the description in front of me, but I am pretty sure that the description has like three colors that it shifts to, and I swear I'm seeing all the colors of the rainbow in this polish. Like, it's really mind-blowing. And based on the feedback I've heard from people over on Instagram and over on Facebook, this is a favorite for a lot of people. And no, this is not a dupe for the KBShimmer polish Hidden Potential. My dupes video is coming up right after this one, but they are not dupes. They are not the same. The base colors are different. And yes, you need both. Yeah. So my final favorite is the Color Spectrum polish called Pretty Princess. This one made it into the top 5 for, the major reason why this one made it into the top 5 was because I was genuinely surprised at how much I like this polish. So when I opened the package that had this polish in it, I was just kind of like, why the Pretty Princess polish wasn't like pink or purple, because I kind of remember that having a lot of pink and purple in it. I feel like toys that they targeted to girls in the 90s were all pink and purple. However, once I got this on the nail, I was so impressed. I thought this was absolutely gorgeous, and so I really like that Shannon did a Pretty Pretty Princess polish that wasn't actually pink or purple. I don't know, I really like that, but this one made me here because it was just really, really beautiful, plus some of the proceeds to this one are going to charity, which is also a plus. And that's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I would love to know what you all are going to be picking up for polish pickup this month. Well, I guess technically next month. For me personally, the #1 thing on my wish list is the Sweet and Sour Lacquer pink Crelly. I can't remember what it's called. I just remember that I want it really badly. I still need to finalize my wish list. I think I'm at like 12 or 13 things on there. Yeah, so I need to whittle down my wish list a little. But I would love to know if everyone else has compiled their wish list yet, what you're getting. And I will talk to you all in the next one. Bye!